It is day one of the Maryland Oyster Tour. It's all brought to you by our friends at Liberty Pure Solutions. We are in one of my favorite places in the city. I am not an art guy, like I've been to a million museums. No, this is the BMA. We're here in Baltimore. John Shields is here. It is Gertrude's, the Chesapeake Kitchen. We're going to do the show here again shortly, sometime in the fall. But in the meantime, these are the oysters du jour. Today is day one. You even brought out these other oysters, and I'm not. Listen, this is what you chefs. Yeah. You're gonna make me eat all this stuff, and I'm not. I can't eat all this stuff.
Well, this is a tutorial because people say, "Oh, I like fried oysters or oysters like this," but they don't know where they come from. Ladies and gentlemen, they come from the shell. This is where we get them from.
Right on.
And shuck them.
Well, that's where the crab cakes come from, too, and that's how this whole thing got started. Because no oysters, no crab cakes.
Precisely.
Right on. So what are these? This is the dish I've been waiting to try. Yeah. This is day one, and I just want to hold this up for everybody and show you how delicious this is going to be.
It's a famous single fried oyster.
All right, you told me about this when we did the show here last year with Dan Rogic. So tell me what goes into this. Is like sort of New Orleans inspired, right?
A little bit. So when we're talking about single fried, basically what we do is we take a little bit of flour, cornmeal, salt, pepper, and since we're in Baltimore, Old Bay. And we just lightly
That's got Old Bay in it.
Yes.
Okay,
just
all right.
lightly dust it. The thing is, you could put it in batters and this and that and the other thing, but I don't think the oysters...
And this is hot. You don't want me... I got to eat these right away,
we got to eat them. We got to eat them now.
All right, so the Maryland... You asked me why the tour, and I think the crab cakes... Damie led me to the education of no oysters, no crab cakes.
Yes.
And that's certain. That's just the truth. And the Oyster Recovery Partnership, when you say these shells here, when you're done with these, they go out back into the bay.
And they go in our backyard.
And they grow more little crab. You have a big thing here, right?
Yeah, we have big tubs. We put all the oyster shells in. Oyster Recovery, people come in, pick them up, goes back into the bay, and we grow new oysters. It's a cyclical
The more
kind
you
of thing.
eat, the better it makes the bay.
It is.
All right, I'm going to have one of these right now. I hit you. We're actually family. Can you explain how we're family to everybody?
Because this is my cousin-in-law.
It's true.
My cousin is married to your son.
Yeah, it's a Baltimore love affair.
It is.
What makes Gertrude so great? I mean, enduring, timeless. We talked about this, but being in a museum, it's just cool, man. Like I come in here and I'm getting like a 2-for-1, right?
Me too.
I'm in the park and Hopkins and everything around here. It's the things that make Baltimore great.
It is. I love the neighborhood. I love North Baltimore. I love hanging out here. And people come from all over the world, but this is our home. It's really kind of a family thing.
Get these?
26 years of family thing.
So Damie brought out fried oysters for me about a year and a half ago, and I said I'd never had a fried oyster in my life, and I've only had maybe a handful. So, I mean, this is just not something I would order in a restaurant, John. You know, I mean, it's down the menu from crab cake, steak free, like just a million different things that you do here, rockfish, I mean, all of that.
Yeah.
It's not the star, you know what I mean, of people's palates, and I'm trying to maybe change that a little bit and give it more of a chance.
Well, it's a great
fried oyster.
Great place
it's delicious.
to start, because people who are not familiar with oysters or don't gravitate to oysters, it's like eating peanuts. You get one of them, you start dipping them.
First when they're fried,
it's gonna be like a peanut. It
tastes like chicken.
So damn good.
Don't tell my friends at Royal Farms that. All right, so it's day one of the Maryland Oyster Tour. We're gonna try to educate folks, friends like John Shields, not just all family, but everybody's gonna feel like family this month. And we're moving around. I'm gonna be at the Pepper Mill. We're gonna be doing the show at Cooper's next week. Oyster Festival, the Fells Point Oyster Festival next weekend, and then the big B&O thing. And you've been to that before, right?
Oh, yeah.
What is that on the 26th? Tell folks about that. It's Oyster Recovery Partnership, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a great benefit. It's the biggest benefit that Oyster Recovery Project does every year. There are watermen from all over the place, oyster farmers from every place. The music is phenomenal. The food is unbelievable. So if I were you, I'll meet you there. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Day 21 of the tour. So brought to you by Liberty Pure Solutions. Our friends at Curio Wellness doing our 26th anniversary. Kick it off. It's day one. I wore my purple game day, right? It almost looks like Lamar, but it's in a Curio O. How are we going to be okay?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how this is going to go because you might find this Friday they might beat the Chiefs. We hope. They might lose to the Chiefs. That's what Vegas says. We'll see. Yeah. Oyster Tour, day 1. I'm Nestor. We're Baltimore Positive, and thanks to Gertrude and our friends out here at the BMA, we're going to come back out here. We're going to do this again. We're going to do it full scale with that award-winning playwright, Dan Rodgers.
Dan Rodgers.
Dan, I love you. You know that. Come have an oyster with me.